Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti, and if you don't know, I'm the face, the voice, and the hands behind all the content here under Infiniti Crafting Co. and InfinityCraftingCompany.com, which is my blog site. Today's channel chat is a little different. It's not quite a channel chat. I don't know why I called it a channel chat. Today I'm going to be making a blanket, though. I know it's the high heat of the summer, and it's probably not the best time to be making a blanket. However, for those of you who maybe have just joined the channel, we just had a new AC installed on our house, and boy does it keep it cold, especially downstairs. So to avoid freezing out, I decided that I needed a thick blanket, and so today I'm going to be doing that. My only conundrum here is that I have yet to figure out whether or not I'm going to knit it or crochet it. I have a 35mm crochet hook, and I also have the knitting needles to go with it. And I put them over here on the table, but I neglected to bring them over here. And now it's stuck on my blocking mat. That's lovely. Here are my tools, and I don't know which one I want to use. I might try to knit on these. I'm a little skeptical because I think I snapped my cord somewhere, and I'd hate to start knitting it and it break. Anyway, as you guys may know, I am technically on my summer break right now, but I wanted to try something new this year by uploading a few videos throughout the month of June, which I normally don't do at all. So you have to let me know if you like this thing. Would you like me to do this next year? I don't know. Maybe not this project specifically, but just uploading videos throughout the month of June. Usually this is my time to sit back and plan content, which I have been doing. And I actually just cast off my knitting project as of the date of this recording, which I don't remember what today's date is. It's been such a week. But anyway, I'm going to jump into this tutorial, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, kick back with me, and let's get into this cozy project. Did I cut through the yarn? I cut through the yarn. Fantastic, Infiniti. Okay. All right. It's okay. I'm not doing the outside string. I think I'm gonna do a center pull. Now, the blanket on the cover is crochet, on the label rather, is crochet, and it only took 3 balls of yarn, so that's why I only bought 3 balls of this. My color scheme down here in the other areas outside of my studio is like a yellow, gray, and white, so that's kind of what happened with the color scheme there. So I'm just gonna dive into this. Let's see. Is that gonna come out of there, or am I gonna have to do the outside string? I don't know. You know what? We're just going to do the outside string because I don't think this is going to agree, and I don't really feel like fighting with chenille yarn to accomplish a goal here. And I think I will also, heck, why not? Why don't we crochet it? I've been knitting all year, and I've been neglecting my crochet hobby. So I'm just going to start with a slip knot and work on through this. And I wonder if I'm going to save this footage for a tutorial later. I don't know. Because a girl can only have so many chunky blankets in her space. And I keep making them and pawning them off on my grandmother. And she just looks at me like, why are you trying to suffocate me? I'm like, I'm not. And I think in years past, I've done super chunky, thick blankets. That's why I have these different, very large pieces of wood in my house, because I like to work with the wool roving. And it was fun, but it shed so badly, even after I went through all the trouble of, you know, priming it, if they want to call it that. So I gave up on that. Also, it's really hard to find now, especially domestically. So I don't bother with it. You guys have to let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite kind of chunky blanket? Do you prefer to knit them? Do you prefer to crochet them? I'm not keeping count here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 8, 9? Okay. 10. I should probably move all my other yarn out of my way on this table. I'm so glad to be back at my craft table. I don't know what to do. 11. 12, because if you guys haven't been keeping up with my videos, or well, my channel chats really, and my tutorials, you guys may have noticed that your girl has been at a different spot for the last, this is what, almost July, so March, April, May, June. Yeah, I've been in a different spot for almost the last 5 months, and it's not been the best to me. At least it's been awkward to me to be over there. My lighting, terrible. It's just, I don't know, it was a weird spot to be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's try 14 and 15. Okay. I don't know. This is enough for a throw blanket, I think. I think I'm gonna go to 20 though. I had no plan and I didn't intend to follow the pattern on the label because I don't conform, but um yeah, just gonna kind of eyeball this. I only have 3 balls to work with, and I don't want to have to unravel this. 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I'm going to add an extra 1. It's gonna be really simple, I think. Yep. Because I don't want to do a yarn eating stitch and then run out and then be forced to go back and like buy more yarn because I don't need to. I like I said, I've been doing a lot in the studio and rearranging and cleaning and just re it's been a mess. And um as I went through and restashed my yarn, I came to the realization that I have more than enough yarn for various things. And I think what's happened over time is just that I had plans for projects to do inventory in my online shop on my website. And over time, I just realized that it was a lot simpler for me to just sit back and write patterns, as opposed to like trying to rush around and do inventory every year and still do the charity thing that I was doing and write patterns and do videos. It was just a lot. And I think I got overwhelmed and I was just like, you know what, forget it somewhere along the line. And I started writing patterns more so as opposed to making actual items, which I think a lot of creators end up doing that just because of the stress of it, I guess. But the pattern writing thing has been going pretty good. But on the other hand, I don't design fast enough to run through all of my yarn. So it's both a good thing and a bad thing because at least I have a fun backdrop, I guess, full of fiber. So now I get to decide on, did I twist my chain? No, I didn't. Now I get to decide on how I want over here to look now that I have it. And I am so, it feels so wonderful to be in this other section of my studio now. I feel like I'm more spread out, which is great. Um, 'Cause, I mean, like when you only have 2/3 of a room, sometimes it feels well, sometimes, at least to me, it felt like I was being cluttered out because I had stuff on either side of the walls. And my room is longer than it is wide, so it started to feel kind of congested after a while, and I couldn't take it anymore. And so finally, I got the large clutter furniture out of the way, and that was a great day. I just kind of stood around in my studio for a moment that day and breathed in all that extra space, and then I got to mopping and disinfecting and just doing all that fun whatnots. So the first channel chat back on the channel in July will be over here in this new space, which I guess won't really be a grand reveal. I guess I'm gonna have to show off a before and after now for those of you who are new, because that old space or the old section where I had everything, it was okay, you know, but I didn't have all my yarn on display like I wanted to. Like I said, on either side of the room, so now everything is kind of in one spot all the way back here, and it's great. It's so great. It's so great. Um, and now I have like hanging racks for my handmade wardrobe. So if I want to display the stuff that I make, I can. And before you ask, the cardigan that I am wearing, I didn't make this. It's actually so way back in probably 2019, I went to Joann and got the premier. It's the cakes. They're like, I think they're fruit rolls or something. And I'm pretty sure this one was called Wasabi. I don't know. It's been years. But anyway, I started designing an off the shoulder sweater, kind of like my birthday sweater, which I have still yet to show off. So I don't know why I keep talking about it. But it was my first cold shoulder design, and I made it too big. But my grandma could fit it. But she was like, I don't want cold shoulder. And what I did, I'm gonna have to restart my regular camera. What I did, I gave it to her, and she unraveled my design, and she made her own like house coat sweater thing, and it was so cool how she did it because it's full of like granny square stitches, and I don't quite know how she did it, but I like it, and I'm tempted to kind of look at this for a while and figure out how she did it and make my own pattern with it. But she doesn't really follow patterns or tutorials. She just goes by the beat of her own drum when it comes to crocheting stuff, which I like because her stuff is cool and unique. So yeah, I don't know, but um, there's no pattern for this right now. Not right now. There might be in the future, but I don't promise that. I have such a list of designs that I have for, well, this year prospectively, but we'll see how that goes because I also had a list last year, and that you know, that didn't quite get done. So I guess it's such is the life of a pattern right, you know? Where do I want to put this? All my baskets are full. I've also, you know, is that where it cut off? Oh no, I cut a whole chunk out of that. Okay, that's not good. I will not be cutting open the other label. But they make it so hard to open the yarn, so it's like you feel compelled to cut it. But you know, oh well. Um, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, so I've had to become kind of inventive, I guess, in some ways with my storage in the studio space. And one of my least expensive and favorite purchases in this adventure has been these little blue baskets. And neither of them are over here. But I bought these little blue baskets from the Dollar Tree for my whips because they are endless and I have nowhere to store them over here. And it's been working out really, really great. Okay, I think I'm just going to chain two for this second row, and I'm going to go ahead and double crochet. Probably not in that first stitch though. Wouldn't make sense to do that. This is so weird. Okay, let me move my crochet hooks. I've also kind of realized that I have a lot of crochet hooks, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm gonna have to make another hook bowl for my collection, especially if Furls keeps releasing things that I don't need. So that's gonna be fun to try to create. Because, like I said, December last year, I bought a wheel, and I have yet to get around to throwing anything on it. I've been busy with this thing or that thing, and so I just haven't gotten around to it. And I want to before the semester starts to get back into practice with that. Even though I don't know, over the semester, I know I'm taking a ceramics course. I want to make more of those hook bowls and hopefully put them in my shop over the winter break because I think they're cool. And it's something I enjoy making, and I think it comes in handy, especially when you have those oddly shaped hooks. Uh, well, they're not really odd, but like the frills hooks where they have the oblong handles on them, makes it really handy to store them and to display them. So, anyway, all right. I probably should just. I cost myself some yardage there. Unless I should tie this. I'm not sure. This is my blanket. I could tie it. A lot of times these videos, like behind the scenes, you know, especially my design tutorials, I do a lot of rambling behind the scenes because, being indecisive um, is a thing for me, I guess, when it comes to stitching and how I want something to look. And now you guys get to hear my whole monologue. And you know what? Speaking of crochet, over the month of June, in case you missed it, I released a cardi pattern. And it's called the Rice Cardi. And in parentheses is Bolero because you see, in the beginning, when I started designing it, it was in fact a bolero. And because of the nature of the fiber, right, stuff stretches and it became something longer than a bolero unless you're like taller. But it wasn't quite cardigan. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Cardi. Yep, that's all it is. And so I released that on my blog, I think on the 15th, and it has been so well received. I was like, oh, okay, this was a pleasant surprise. So I have actually released a crochet pattern this year, aside from the bookmark. And that's been exciting. I'm so glad that people are seeing it and enjoying it. It's like, I don't know, one of the big things, I guess, with doing pattern designs, yeah, you like want stuff to sell, and this pattern is a free pattern on my blog, and the PDF is in my shop. But one thing is just um, having the views on it, I guess, like knowing people are seeing it and are potentially enjoying it. So, like when you like a creator's blog post or something like that, they see it and do a little happy dance, or at least I do. I really enjoy knowing that almost 100 people, like within the first week or so, about 100 people saw it and were potentially making it, and that just makes me want to continue doing stuff like that. And that particular pattern was actually a spin-off pattern to a much bigger project that I've been teasing for the last, probably 2 months now. And I've begun the process on that. And it's been so much fun. And that's not even sarcastic. It's been so much fun sewing the motifs together. And I didn't think I would like that part, but I do. And I can't wait to release that actual pattern in my shop later in the month of July, because I'm planning on releasing the Genesis top, which is the knitting pattern, in my shop exclusively when I come back off of hiatus, because, I have like 50 clips to get through to put together for that tutorial. And I just finished recording the outro for that tutorial at the date of this recording. So that's something I've been trying to do with my paid patterns as of late, is to um, include a video within the paid version of it. So for people who are more visual than written, they can follow along with the pattern as well. I guess that made sense. I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, okay, did that make actual sense or did it make sense to me only? Correct me. So yeah, I don't know. I've just been enjoying my downtime and clearing my mind and getting stuff sorted out and just all the fun life stuff. And I've gotten pretty good news with uh my regular job, because I do have a regular job. But I got some pretty good news with that, and I was happy to hear that in this month. So I don't know. I'm in high spirits. I'm enjoying making stuff for my community to enjoy, and I'm enjoying growing my community. It's really been kind of surreal. I know I say it whenever I come back on a channel chat. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have this many people watching me, and it's because I can't. I literally can't. um, I gotta stop saying so much. But it's just been a thing for me, just realizing that so many people like to sit back and enjoy my content. I mean, my channel grows probably 400 to 500 subscribers a month. And that's really cool to me because, again, circa 2016, I would have freaked out. Somebody would have told me that, I was going to end up talking in front of almost 8,000 people, because at the date of this recording, that's kind of where I am. It's almost 6,700, I'm sorry, 7,600 people. Wait. 77. Now that I think about it, I don't look at my analytics every single day, but when I do, I'm always pleasantly surprised. So yeah, see, today I have 7,681 subscribers, and that is so freaking cool to me. I ogle at it, okay? So, I don't know, just brings me joy. Again, like I said in one of the previous channel chats, it brings me joy to not only grow as a content creator, but also just grow as a person, because this has been a journey, certainly, in figuring out, how I want to do my tutorials, what constitutes as too long, how much talking is too much talking. Because you guys know that I tend to digress pretty often when it comes to channel chats, but I try to reduce that as much as possible in my tutorials. And I know a few older tutorials, people are like, oh, you talk too much. And it's like, okay, I go back and look at them. I'm like, okay, you know what? It could be worse. It could be so much worse. But I take critique and I try to adjust accordingly as I can. And I think that my content and my community is the better for it. So I appreciate you guys tuning into all of my content and rambling when I do post it, or my tutorials. So many people enjoy my tutorials. It's crazy, especially my central tutorials. And I'm still coming up with content for the centro knitting machine, because there are possibilities out there, right? And I won't say they're infinite possibilities, but there are definitely many. And I have a couple. Do I have a couple? I feel like I put that one out there, but I have at least one concept up that I meant to release last year around the holidays, but I was just overwhelmed at that point, and I was tired also from the semester, and I was just ready to shut down for the season and not come back till January, which is pretty much what I did. And yeah, so at some point before it gets freezing cold, I will have that project tutorial out there for the Centro. I haven't given up on it. It's still my favorite tool in my studio, honestly. That helps me craft because, again, it's affordable, or it was affordable before all the inflation and stuff, but it's it's more affordable than other machines, and it gives you get your feet wet when it comes to knitting machines, I think. And if like you wanted to elevate later, you could upgrade. There's the word. If you wanted to upgrade later, you could. Um, but yeah, mine has served me well. The large one over my shoulder here, I have not had to replace that one. I did have to replace the small one at some point. I think it was last year because it like the gears started grinding on it. And I don't know if that was just from overuse or if it was just um, old from the start. I have no idea. But either way, that one has been replaced. And then any other issues I've had with the machine, it's just been my fault. Like the time that I snapped the little tension gauge thing on the machine, that was all me. I leaned into it just a little bit and snapped it. So anyway, other than that, no issues. I like the machine. It's mixed. A lot of people have mixed reviews on it, but it's just what's been working for me. I noticed too in my comments, some people are having issues getting it because apparently it's made in China, like most things are, and some countries apparently have blocked items that are made in China, and I don't have an alternative to them. I mean, I've never had an Addy, so I can't speak to it. I know it's a good brand, but I've never had the actual machine for myself to speak to it firsthand. So that's why I don't have recommendations um, outside of that machine. But it's pretty practical, I think, for the most part. I don't know where that storyline came from, but it's pretty practical. I have a video planned, one more video planned, I think. That's a lot. I have two videos planned, but we'll see which one gets posted before hiatus is up because it'll be over before you guys know it. I will be back. I'm planning to come back on July the 10th and releasing my knitting pattern on the 11th, which is the following Monday. So you guys can look out for that. If you're not signed up for my newsletter or on my email list on my website, you should go over and do that because I always let them know when patterns drop first, whether they're free or paid. And yeah, get first dibs, get a head start on stitching things. Feel free to tag me in your makes. I so desperately want to see people who make my patterns. I want to see their color combinations because I've had a couple people over the last couple of years to tag me in their makes, but I would love to see that from my community. That would make my day. speaking of brand growth and personal growth, I also reached 600 followers on Instagram this month, and that's been exciting for me. I've been trying to grow my following since I really started the personal page, because at first I was just posting my crochet and knit work on my personal Instagram page, which was also my art page. And at some point, I realized that I needed to separate the two. And I realized I also don't post art as much anymore. I haven't posted really since the semester ended, so that's been a thing. Maybe one day I will actually get my butt into gear and work on my portfolio. um, but I I think, yeah, was it July of 20, I think it was July of 2020, I decided to give Infinity Crafting Co. its own Instagram page and grow it from there. And at first I was doing pretty good, but as you guys know, all the social media platforms decided that video was the future. And I don't mind doing videos, obviously, but I was still determined for a while there to grow with photos only because I felt like Reels and TikToks and things like that were kind of annoying. And now, I don't have TikTok still. I have yet to join the TikTok bandwagon, but I do post Reels. And unfortunately for my followers, I have been posting Reels for the last, at this point, 18 days. Today was day 18. Now that I can see a clock. Today is the 22nd of June. So I've been posting since basically the 4th of June, different reels, and it finally got me past that 600 sub mark, and that was, or 600 follower mark. I get them all mixed up. Anyway, that was really cool. So that's like 600 new, well, wait. That's 1,200 pairs of eyes. 600 pairs of eyes and 1,200 actual eyes on my content. I swear I can do math. Most of that math comes across in my knit and crochet patterns. This is not very convincing, I realize. But yeah, I'm actually fairly decent at math when push comes to shove. So trust me. But I think after doing so many numbers over the last couple of weeks, I think I'm just a little fried. So we're going to blame it on that. I wonder how long this video is going to end up being by the time I'm done with it. I don't really want to call this a channel chat. I really wanted channel chat 100 to be the grand reveal of my my new spot here. But we'll see. Let's see what else has been on my mind. I was thinking about doing a little video run on the channel here for a Q&A session. I thought that I should bring that back. I did it one time in 2020, and I haven't done it since. Mostly because I did a poll last year and nobody wanted to see that. I was like, okay, it works for me. Especially as I was going into this that fall semester, the first time I was going to be on my university campus, which was exciting for me at the time. And I liked being there. It was still, I still had that sense of peace of being there, like I did when I first took the tour. So that was awesome. But yeah, I was thinking about doing a Q&A session because like the last time I did Vlogust, which I
will not be able to do this year because of my schedule. Oh my goodness. It's going to be interesting juggling everything. That's why I've been so gung ho about kicking back this hiatus and getting my crap together, because I know as the months of the semester go on, I'm going to be super busy and I'm not going to want to do that every month, every day in August. But probably from the time that I come back in July to whenever I run out of questions, um, I would love if you guys submitted questions to me. So they could be about crafting, it could be about any number of things, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, because I don't know, I kind of liked it. It was crazy in 2020, but it was fun. And again, I didn't get to do it last year. So I'd like to do it this year. If that's something you guys want to see, I think I'm going to make a post in the community tab for that. And it would be really cool if I had 2 to 3 questions per video, I think, this time, instead of just like one per video. I think that'd be pretty cool. Then again, you guys can let me know down in the comments below if that's something you want to see. Uh, for the most part, that's how I do certain. That's how I gauge how to make certain content. I'll either put a poll out there, or I'll ask in my stories or something like that. So I'll make sure to put that in my community tab, so you guys can head over to my channel page after this video and yeah, submit your questions. Feel free to shoot me an email. Also, I tend to answer those pretty quickly. Alright. This feels so soft and squishy already. I'm actually in love with the texture of it. I usually don't like crocheting with chenille yarn because of the texture and my nails, and I've talked about this before. But some textures just don't blend well with me, and usually this is one of them, but this is actually pretty good. And I realized I didn't bring up the gauge for it or anything like that at the beginning of the video, which I should have. You know, sometimes Infiniti is a little off. Let's see. Oh man, that's so squishy. Just look at that. I want to put my face in this so bad. Okay, so this, like I said, this is Burnett Blanket Extra Thick, and I'm a sucker for chunky yarn. This particular skein is a 7 weight, so it's jumbo weight. They recommend a 25mm knitting needle or a 25mm crochet hook. Of course, again, like I said, I don't conform to things, so I'm using a 35mm crochet hook, or a US size 70, and it's 100% polyester, and it has 72 yards in it, so that's pretty good. Alright, I think I am done at last, so I'm gonna do a final row count after I fasten off. And as soon as I find my big scissors, because the snips are not gonna do it for this project. Alright, so out of 3 balls of this burlap blanket extra thick, this is all I have left. And I have a whole heat blanket. I think I'm gonna have to show this off. I love how fluffy it is. Oops, let's not pull that out, I don't think. Wait. How do you fasten off again? There we go. So I think I came out with a nice square blanket. It's good enough for me. So I'm gonna weave in these ends and then I'm gonna move over so you guys can see. This is fun time. Alright. And this is my finished blanket. I took a look at the yarn label when I finished crocheting, and their blanket pattern measures 30 inches long. Mine is 32 inches wide by 35 inches long, so it's almost a square, not quite. And mine is also 15 rows, in case you were wondering. I'll probably leave the instructions in a blog post, so you can look for that in the top comment. If you're interested in my other projects and whips, you can find me over on Instagram and Pinterest, as well as my blog site, of course. You might want to sign up for the newsletter. Like I said, in July I have a couple of patterns I have planned for release, so you're not going to want to miss out on those. They're both knitting and crochet, so have a little something coming out for everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on awesome weekly content. Let me know in the comments below, did you like this format? Because I could go either way with it. It was different, but it was kind of fun. So anyway, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, happy making.